the May Templeton Hopper Fund, and the Theodore A. Vieira Fund from the Hawaii Community Foundation. And then I've listed all of our sponsors. I gave you a list of them, and as well as the PowerPoint that we showed before the program. I'm looking at my notes here. Okay, everybody's muted except for the speaker and myself, and I will be muted shortly. So if you have anything to say, go down to your chat room and just type something in. Okay. Karen, drop me an email after this. No, I can see that. I will send you all that stuff during the meeting. Is that okay? Karen didn't get anything, I guess. So, let's see, where were we? Okay, we've got 2 more in this series. So if you haven't signed up for those and would like to, please do. It's never too late. At the end of the series, I told you I'd be sending you all the resource materials from all of our sponsors, as well as some other extra goodies. You're getting the PowerPoints weekly. I will tell you that Dr. Balaz is sending her PowerPoints. She just hasn't gotten them to me yet, but you will all get them as soon as I have them. So never fear. And the recordings are all the series, all of the workshops are on the website so that you can view them again if you'd like to. Remember, if you want the mailings, I have to have your entire name and address, and I have several that I don't have. Anyway, so onward with the program. I will be continuing letting people in, but Cynthia is going to start. Cynthia Arnold is our guest speaker today, and like I said, this is going to be a fun workshop.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me just figure out how to see you. I shared my screen. Do you see my screen?
I see your screen.
Okay. But how come I can't see you anymore? Oh, there.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Good morning. I am Cynthia Arnold with Senior Move Managers in Declutter Hawaii. I actually see some familiar names. Hi, Auntie. But thank you, Kathy, for allowing me to speak today. We're going to talk about decluttering solutions. However, half of my seminar will be about basic decluttering, and then the other half we'll talk about the holidays and what you can do now to start preparing yourself for the holidays. I use a lot of examples. I talk a lot about stories, personal stories, as well as other stories. There will be a chance that you can chat in the chat to answer a question or two. So please feel free to do that. I have that open on my other screen as well. So I like to try to make this somewhat interactive, mostly because in person, you'll see our characters come out and you'll see the energy, and online it's a little hard to get the energy, but hopefully you'll be able to recognize that. So we're going to talk about declutter solutions today. I'm Cynthia Arnold with Senior Move Managers and Declutter Hawaii. We've been in business for, we've been in business for 10 years now. Prior to this, I worked in hotel catering as well as American Diabetes Association. My maiden name is Goya. I do see some Goyas and some Uchinan shoes on the participant list, so welcome. I do a lot of things with the Hawaii HEOA as well. I've done speaking engagements there, but we call ourselves Hawaii Decluttering Specialists. We got our Circle of Service Diamond Society pin this year. I am also a certified aging in place specialist. So if you've ever met us, myself and our team, we like to make fun. We like to joke about stuff, because if you've ever had to declutter your home, it's not easy and it's very emotional. So I'm the clutter fairy. I'll come back. I'm going to need a much bigger one. Is there an area in your home that you can look at right now and think, oh, if I just had a wand, I could go poof and be gone? And that's what this is about, right? We want to see an area cleaned in a snap of a finger versus having to take, hours and days to get that done. Or the evil clutter fairy doing their nightly rounds. We have this more often, where a client has donated something or given something up, and then I get a call the next day and I hear, Cynthia, do you know where you took this item? Or do you know what you did with that item? And unfortunately, if it goes to like Kidney or Goodwill or somewhere, it's really highly unlikely that you're going to get it back, mostly because it goes in a pod or it goes somewhere and gets buried. It gets picked up every so often, so it's really difficult to find the items once you donate it. But this is the evil clutter fairy. 3 weeks after you throw something away, you're gonna want it back, right? There's one instance, one of our clients, we she didn't she wasn't gonna take the record player, a newer record player, to her retirement community. So we donated it. 2 days later, she called me. She's like, I really want my record player. And it was a very specific one. So we traced it. It was a miracle that we traced it. But I called the donation place. They said, well, it was picked up 2 days ago after, we dropped it off. So it could be here or there. And I called the two places, and just so happened that Savers knew that they got a shipment, and it was a very specific record player. It was very distinct. So I asked them if they could be on the lookout for it, and if they do find it, to call me. Sure enough, 2 days later, they found it, and they said, come and pick it up. So we got lucky that one time, but the 100 other times we have not been lucky. So our clients, most of our clients are in their 70s to 90s, and we want to help them not say this to their kids, right? Just think, darling, one day all of this will be yours. Have you heard from your parents say this to you, like, oh yeah, don't worry, all of this will be yours. You don't have to get rid of it now, right? And what we're trying to do is empower our clients to not say that to their adult kids, because most of the adult children will look at me and say, no way, I don't want all this stuff for mom. So we want to help them to give away their things now while they're alive, versus waiting for later. Okay, so our typical scenario is our clients have retired. They're starting to figure out what they want to do for their future. Maybe they've retired, and now they're going to babysit the grandkids, but what else are they going to want to do in their 10, 20, 30 years in retirement? They're planning for the future. Maybe they're deciding whether I want to age in place in my home or whether I want to move. And if you make that decision, then you also need to, they start thinking about, well, I've got to get rid of some of this stuff, right? I've lived in this home for 80 years. I think our record was well, and right now, recently, we moved a 91-year-old man into a retirement community, and he lived in that home for 91 years. And that home, he grew up in, his parents raised him in that home, but also that was where his grandparents lived as well. So when we helped him declutter his home, can you just imagine decluttering not only your stuff of 91 years, but stuff that your parents had in that house, and then possibly stuff your grandparents had, right? So it was very emotional, took time and took a lot of emotions. But you've lived in a home for a long time, you're going to collect stuff, right? Maybe you've tried starting and you're so happy because the table in front of you is cleared out, and you're like, yes, I cleared this area, and you feel so happy. And then you turn around and you're like, wait, why is that table all cluttered now? Right? Sometimes we end up just moving it. Hi, Casey. Sometimes we end up just moving it from one area to another area. And while this area gets cleared, then another area gets dirty, right? And that's just moving things from place to place. What we want to do is move it to a place that's going to stay stationary, right? And then last but not least, maybe your adult children are moving in with you, or maybe you're going to move in with your adult child. You need to make space for that home. Maybe you have a multi-generational home. How do you make space for everyone who's living in that home? Okay. So just to give you an idea, like I said, we've been in business for 10 years now. We actually do help clients to downsize and declutter. We help them with estates, and that's when a loved one has passed away. Maybe your aunt passed away and she lived in that home for all of her life, and now you need to clear it out, but you still work you don't have time to take off a week to help clear out your auntie's house. Well, that's what we do. We take every client like they're our family, and we help them to clear out that estate so that it can be sold or rented or what needs to be done with it. We'll help you to age in place, which is decluttering to stay in your home, or we'll help you to move if you want to move. Okay, so I talk about our expertise and our specialty mostly because we do this every day. That's how we have this knowledge. That's how we get our tips. So our focus when we do things is primarily towards our senior demographic, our clients from age 70 to 90. I don't know if anyone's watched Marie Kondo's Netflix show about tidying up. There's also a new show which my daughter just loves. It's called The Home Edit, and it's really about organizing. It's taking the stuff you have in your, say, kitchen and reorganizing your kitchen cabinets and your pantry their way. My daughter just binge watched, I think, that whole session of The Home Edit, and now she's like doing her dresser. We're gonna do our kitchen, and so it's another show about organizing if you want to check it out on Netflix. But everything we do, and the reason why we talk about this specifically, is to help our clients to downsize their things and to start letting go of their stuff. Because my friends in their 40s and their 30s, they can probably clear out an area pretty quickly, because unfortunately the millennials and the younger generations, they have no attachments to personal things. So your kids or your grandkids could say, oh yeah, grandma, I can clear out this room for you, just throw it all away, right? But they don't have the emotions attached to it. And that's what we deal with every day, is emotions with our clients. So detaching your personal belongings isn't easy. I'm not going to tell you it's easy. I'm actually going to tell you it's going to be pretty hard. But through some of the processes that we go through, it should be a little easier as the time goes on. Okay, so detaching from your personal belongings is going to be challenging. It's not going to be easy because it's a lifetime of memories, right? All of your stuff in your home, it's a lifetime of memories, right? It's not clutter. How many of us have clutter? Nobody has clutter, right? Nobody has junk. Nobody has the other four-letter C word I hear a lot, the crap, right? Nobody has that, right? It's a lifetime of memories. It's your stuff. It has emotions to it. Somebody else could come into your home and say, oh my God, get rid of all this crap. Get rid of all this junk. Why are you holding on to it? But it's not. It's a lifetime of memories, and it's a lifetime of our memories. So it's going to be difficult, but as we go through different processes that I'm going to share with you, it should start to get easier to downsize and declutter. So I like to use a lot of comics because it's entertaining, and it's kind of real, even though it's a comic, right? I tell friends they can come over after I clean. Guess I'll never have to entertain. How many of us clean our house before we know people are coming over, right? We box it up, we put it in that bedroom, and we close the door, right? What areas do we see if you go to someone's house? You'll use the bathroom, so you got to clean the bathroom up. You'll see the kitchen and the living room, or the main room that you guys go into. But your bedroom, your other bedroom, all those bedrooms, nobody should really be going into, right? So we clean everything up, we put everything in boxes or bags, and we throw that in that bedroom and close the door. Because what friend is going to go and open your doors, right? We all do that. And I thought this was funny because it's really true. A lot of our clients who don't clean or who are embarrassed, they never have friends over. And that's, kind of what she's saying. So what do we do? How do we conquer this clutter? How do we go through all this stuff? Well, we start with the least used rooms and closets. One of the areas that we go through first is the linen closet. We want to go through all of our linen, and we want to start decreasing our linen because one, we have a queen bed and we have a full-size bed for our guest bedroom. But why do we have twin sheets, king sheets, the Spider-Man ones from when our kids were living with us, the strawberry shortcake? You can tell I'm dating myself, strawberry shortcake. But why are we keeping all those linens when we don't have beds that go on it, or we're not using them, right? That's a good time to clear out your linen closet and with your towels, because most clients, and actually most people, the towels that they use are on their towel rack, right? When it starts to get time to wash it, it's been like a week and it's starting to, smell a little watery, you throw it in the washing machine, you throw it in the dryer, and then once it's done in the dryer, you hang it right back up in your bathroom, right? How often do we actually use the towels in the linen closet, right? Some of us have Christmas ones, so we'll put out the Christmas ones soon. But what we don't do is we don't use all the stuff in our linen closet. And if you do, I commend you. I personally do. We go through towels. I change our towels about every 3 days. And on Saturday, I wash 2 sets of towels, and the third set is hanging up. That's just me. So we go through our linen closet all the time. But we want to clear out our linen closet of stuff we're not using and then put the stuff that we are using in there, like our toilet paper, right? Minimize incoming items. We always buy toilet paper from Costco. And when the pandemic started and when that hurricane scare came, I was actually at Costco that day and people were buying toilet paper. And I thought, do I need toilet paper? And I said, oh, I have about 2 more sets at home, so I don't need to buy 60 rolls again, right? But that's where you can put that extra toilet paper, the extra shampoo, the extra conditioner, the extra toothpaste stuff. Put those things in your linen closet and organize that space. Okay, schedule time to start and set mini goals. Right, your bigger goal is to declutter by summertime because you have family that's going to spend the summer with you. And what are you going to do each month to get to there? We're going to sort our things into 4 categories, and I'll talk about that shortly. But there are only 4 categories of stuff in your home. You want to begin with high traffic areas, right? Is from your bedroom to your bathroom, cluttered? Is the hallway cluttered? I've gone into homes and going up the stairs has stuff on half of the stairs. That is really not safe, right? To go up or down those stairs. So you want to start with those high traffic areas to increase safety, because unfortunately, one little trip and fall, hit the wall, fall down, hurt your hip, break a leg. Those things are going to be that much harder to recover from. So we want to begin with high traffic areas and to increase safety. And last but not least, share your goals and be held accountable. I was talking to a group yesterday and I talked about minimizing incoming items. And I said, now that we don't have senior fairs, I feel like a lot of people aren't collecting more stuff, right? Because at senior fairs, what do? We look for the place that's giving out the free bags. And then in every booth, they give out chip clips or they give out pill dispensers. We've had a lot of people come to our booth in the past and say, oh, what are you giving out? And we joke to them and say, well, we don't give out anything because that's the stuff we have to get rid of later on. And this year, I think we talked about it last year. Our team was like, hey, why don't we collect all the stuff from our clients, like the pens and the chip clips and all the logoed items from all these companies that they picked them up from and put it in our booth for senior this year. But we didn't have it, right? But that's what I mean, right? We collect all these things because it's free. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love free stuff. And I must say, I do have chip clips as well. And we have a lot of chips too, though. So I make use of them. If I don't need a pill dispenser, I don't pick one up because what am I going to do with it when I get it at home, right? So I thought that was funny. Minimize incoming items. We're all minimizing those senior fair items because we haven't been going to them. But you also want to think about minimizing the canned goods, minimizing the items that we bring in every day from Costco or from the grocery store. If we're bringing in 3 bags of stuff, are we getting rid of 3 bags of stuff that week, right? So questions to ask yourself as you declutter. Do you really need it? Now, I ask that question a lot with our clients, and the answer is always yes. Yes, I need it. I need it for this, or I need it to bake that, or I need it to clean this, right? Okay, well, we need it. Well, when was the last time you used it? And when will you use it again? So, if you have a bottle of solution and you're like, oh no, I use that for cleaning certain things. Okay, well, if you look at it and it's already starting to separate, or you can tell that it's not been used in a while because the spray gun is stuck, when will you use it again? And is it even going to be good to use it again, right? So an example, because we see a lot of this, eyeglasses, right? As we get to a certain age, we need a certain pair of glasses. And I bought my first pair this year. I don't wear it very often because I don't need it that much yet. But my husband has 3 pairs, and he puts one in his car. He puts one right by his computer, and he has one next to the recliner when he reads stuff, right? And he needs it to read certain things. Okay, so as we go into other areas, that's great. You have 3 pairs, you put in 3 different areas, but you make use of it. Now, what if we go to the kitchen and we open the junk drawer that we all have, and there's 3 other glasses, right? One only has one side for the ear and the other side is broken. One has like scratches or cracks through the eye area. One it has no eye area, right? Do we need to keep those? It's funny because a lot of our clients say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it, not to worry." That's why I kept it, right? We tend to want to fix something, but because we're not going to get to it right now, we go out and buy a new one, and we still keep the one we're going to fix. So how many do we need, right? How often do we use these items? Is it replaceable? Well, it's replaceable because you just bought 3 new pairs to, get rid of the other 3 pairs, but we still didn't get rid of it, right? And last but not least, if you are making a move, if you've decided to move to a retirement community, or maybe you're going from your big single family home into a condo, where will it fit in your home? And if there's no space in your home, then it needs to go somewhere, right? And that's where we get to this SORT acronym. After you've answered those questions, okay, I don't need it because I haven't used it in 5 years. I'm not going to use it again, but I want to keep it because it was really expensive, right? What do we do with the things we don't want? And this is where we sort your items. So SORT's acronym is sell, offer, retain, and toss. We want to talk about the things you want to retain and keep with you. If you don't want to keep it, then we think about what are we going to offer to our friends and family, or maybe we want to donate it somewhere. Maybe it's in really good condition and maybe we don't really want to donate it. We want to get some money for it, right? Maybe we'll sell it. Maybe we'll do an online sale or coordinate an estate sale or a garage sale. So if it's not sellable and you can't donate it, maybe because it's rusted, it's stained, it's soiled, then the last pile is the toss pile. So we think about it in 4 corners, right? The corner of keep, then we have the donation, the sell, and the toss pile. And as you go through these areas in your home, what I suggest is have a trash bag with you and have a box, right? What I do is we usually have a trash bag. Whenever I do cleaning in my home, I always have a trash bag. We have a share bin in our home that anything that we don't use or we want to donate, we'll put it in that bin. I rarely sell things. My biggest thing is either it's going to be tossed away because it can't be donated, and if it can be donated, I look to see if family members want it, or then I send it to a charity. So why do we sort? We are, I would say, more of a concierge type of company. We do moving, we do trash disposal, we do donation drop-offs, we do selling of items. However, the reason why we sort, and this is the reason, what we do and why we do it best, is we sort through things because if you look in this picture right here, notice the duct tape on the walls that was, keeping the walls together. That window didn't have a glass window or a screen. It just was actually opened up to all elements. This client had lived in her home up until she had to go to the hospital, unfortunately, and then she passed. The family members came in and they were shocked. They're like, I can't believe Auntie lived like this. Auntie didn't own anything expensive. Just throw everything away. And that was literally what they told me. They said, Cynthia, you guys just can throw it all away. We don't need anything. If you can donate something, go ahead and donate it. If not, it's all trash. In this dresser, in the corner, we found $16,000 in cash. Is that trash to you? If we were a normal trash company, we would just pick up the dresser with all the contents in it. We throw it into the dumpster, or we throw it into their trash truck, and then we'd haul it away to the disposal place, and $16,000 would literally be in the landfill, right? The reason why we sort is because we do find these things. We don't find them often, but we do find them. When we cleared out my grandmother's house after she had passed and it was going to be sold, my grandmother had dementia, and she also had diabetes, and she kept candy in different areas. And you know, as a kid, you think, oh wow, grandma hides candy, that's awesome, right? You would go and you'd find a little lollipop and you'd eat it. But I didn't realize at that time, because I was so young, that it was because of her diabetes. But as we went through and cleared out her home, we found cash in all weird places. Not $16,000 in cash, but we found, you know, 20 bucks here, $100 there. The most interesting place we found money was, you know, in the curtains, normal curtains, they come down and then they flip over, and that's where, you know, the company had sold it. So there's a little lip. Well, we found about $150 in that little lip of a curtain. And that is how, you know, the craziest place for us that we found $150. But, and this is the reason why we sort. Other reasons is we found $20,000 of gold bars. And this was found in, it was a Crown Royal, you know, the purple bag, and that was hidden in a container, and then another container, you know, like one of those Russian dolls. And the biggest container was a cat litter, an empty cat litter container. And my brother was working for us at that time, and he was clearing out the outside lanai closet. And as he was going through it, he's like, oh, what is this? You know, and he opened it and opened the next box and opened the next box and opened the next box, and finally found the $20,000. Now, most people will open one, open another one, and be like, oh my God, this is just boxes and boxes and boxes, and would throw it away. But this is the reason why we go through things, because we know that clients do hide things. We also want to make sure that if somebody in that household did have dementia, like my family, we want to make sure that we go through things even more thoroughly, because we've had Alzheimer and dementia patients in the past that we found the wedding ring that the wife knew it was somewhere but didn't know where her husband put it, right? And we found a lot of other things that were very sentimental to people. The last thing for me is the black and white photos, the videos, those type of things, because once you throw those away, you can never get them back. And I'm archiving a lot of my family's photos and things like that, just so that we can have it to share with others. Veterans Day was this past Wednesday, and because I was able to scan my grandpa's military pictures, I was able to post it and share it on Facebook. Because my grandpa's the only military person we had in our family. So it's those type of things that I want to be able to keep and to preserve and to cherish for the years to come. So that's why we sort. Something like this happens all the time. Our first day, right? I don't think you're getting the point of this exercise. Remember we said the 3 boxes of stuff, right? This client puts all the stuff in the keep, some stuff in the donate, and the toss pile is very small. So it should actually be opposite. Depending on the quality and the quantity of stuff in your home, most of it might go into trash, and then donation and then keep should be the smallest pile. So I'm going to talk to you, so get ready to chat, because I'm going to ask you a question shortly, okay, about selling things. So selling and donating of items, you can do a garage sale. Through this pandemic, we have not done a garage sale, but I also haven't seen very much garage sales out and about. There was one I saw posted for a place at Hawaii Kai. Now think about it. If you want to do a garage sale, all these strangers that you don't know are going to come to your home. Do you want that? Number one, do you want all those strangers coming to your home? Is it worth the couple $100s that you're going to get for this garage sale, right? There's also, you can sell online. Same thing. You're going to have a stranger coming to your home. That will be one versus 100. But you can sell things online. You can sell things on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, or you can do a garage sale. Normal garage sales in a normal time, we have netted $2,000 to $3,000, and that's worth it. if you're gonna do a garage sale and you're gonna come back with $100, $200, maybe $500, you have to think about if that time and energy was worth it for you to do a garage sale. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you this question. The cherry curio cabinet on the left, that it was in great condition. It was very large. It was probably like 5 feet wide. Great display item. What would you want to sell that at? If you were selling this item, what would you want to sell it at? It was in great condition, like I said, cherry wood. Any guessers? $100, $500, okay. Okay, wow, thank you. 100, 600, 1,300, 1,000, 1,500. Great guesses, great guesses. Okay, so I am not sure, and our client wasn't sure how much he had actually bought the item for, but he wanted to start it at 800. And I suggested that that was a little bit too high. One, he needed to sell it within a month because his house was on the market and it was going to be closed and sold. So we had to get the last pieces out. We started it at 500. 1 week passed, no bites, we dropped it. Another week passed, we dropped it again. And the third week came, and I think it was at $300 or $250. We ended up selling it for $200 after 3 weeks. And I'll tell you a few reasons why. It's not that it's, if you got something appraised, it could be appraised at $800, but would somebody buy it at $800 is what you have to think about, right? How much would you buy this item for, right? One, what's going on is the people buying these items or looking for these items either have it or they don't have the space, right? We don't have big homes. My parents and all the generations above, they have large homes. But when we buy our first home, it's going to be a townhouse, it's going to be a condo. We're not going to be able to fit a big piece in our homes. And also think about, are they keeping things, right? When the millennials go on a trip, they take their cell phone and their suitcase, and a lot of it is a carry-on because they don't bring omiyagi back home, right? They don't bring a trinket that they saw at one of the stores. They don't bring knickknacks home when they travel. They bring their cell phone home with all the pictures and all the videos. So they don't need to display things, right? They're not displaying china, they're not displaying dishes. So that's another reason why these type of items, we haven't sold a curio for more than I think $300 or $400. And that's because there's a very limited amount of people that want curios like this. Now the bed, how many, get any guesses for the bed? How much would you buy this? Okay, so now the question will be changed. How much would you buy this bed set for? It's a headboard, a platform, and then the mattress. And I will tell you the mattress was about 1 month old. Unfortunately, our client wasn't able to sleep in this bed for very long. $500, $1,000, $600, $150, $150. Okay, good. Oh, no dollars for the bed set. That I like that answer because in my 10 years of doing this, this is the second bed I sold. The first bed was a Tempur-Pedic king size adjustable. It was like a $10,000 bed, and we actually sold that one for like less than 500. I know, terrible, right? But we sold this for 150, and I was shocked. So when we started selling stuff for this client specifically, he had a lot of furniture. He had a 4-bedroom home. He kept it very clean. If you notice, the ground is not dirty. This picture was actually taken before we started cleaning things, but he had this bed set. He also had the dresser, the nightstands. And my team said, just post it. Who knows? Somebody might buy it just for the bed frame. Well, we did post it, and we got a hit. That was the first hit we got, and I thought, okay, wait, this guy is kidding me, right? So he actually did. He was a military. They just moved here. They needed a guest bed for their guest bedroom. And, he said, I'll buy for 150. It might not be slept on, but at least we'll have a guest bed, and it would only cost him $150. A lot of people don't buy beds from strangers, right? Would you buy a bed from a complete stranger? Kathleen says $0, right? And I would say the same thing. However, if we were to get a bed from our brother or from our cousin or from our neighbor, we may buy that from them, right? Because we know who they are, and we trust them, right? If they said only 5 people slept on that bed, then we trust that, right? But most people will not buy beds from a stranger. One, you worry about what happened on that bed, and any bed bugs and things like that. Yeah, $150 is very affordable. Again, most of our beds that we have, we actually give it to a church for a donation, because it's more hassle to sell a bed than it is to donate a bed. Okay, so do we all have these disposable containers, right? When you buy poke, you clean it up. Quite frankly, I don't keep any poke containers or anything with fish because I'm allergic, but we keep things like this too, right? This is what we buy from Costco, a turkey in a big container, and we keep it, we wash it, we use it again. Well, I am okay if we use takeout containers once. Maybe you have family that come over, so you'll keep the Zippy's containers, the Costco containers, and when they come over, you'll fill it up with leftovers and they'll take it home. That's fine. If we tend to use that over and over and over again, I would say let's use real Tupperware instead, because you don't want to keep using that to microwave, and really it's not the best thing to keep putting food in and in. But we like to clear this kind of cabinet out and then keep the things that we're going to be used, and keep the things that are going to be useful and that you use all the time. My grandparents, before COVID, we got together with my mom's side of the family at least once a month for birthdays or for holidays and things like that. And my grandparents went to Zippy's probably like 2 times or 3 times a week, and they would always keep their Zippy's containers. And I told them it's okay to keep those, because every time we have a party, I make the to-go packets, right? All the leftover food, I make to-goes for certain uncles, and my cousins take food for lunch, and it gets depleted. So it takes them a month to make 20 containers, and then I deplete that when we have an event. So it was okay for that purpose. But if you don't use it that often and it just stays in a cabinet or clutters a cabinet, we really want to make sure we're keeping it for good reasons, right? Newspaper and magazines, we want to make sure that we don't just keep them in our home, that we dispose of them, that we recycle them, because in a fire that can go up really quickly. China, right? China, we all own that China. I know I've seen some comments. Yes, we do have China from our grandparents, from our parents. We have our own set of China. Unfortunately, China is something that can't be sold or isn't usually sold because no one's buying it. Again, it's the millennials, it's the younger generation. You go to a wedding now. My brother and sister got married recently, and none of them, wanted China. I'm very different. I'm older than them, but I actually eat off of noritake plates, and it's plain white. But I feel like food tastes better when it's on a nice plate, and I'm very different from my generation as well. However, the plates I bought are able to go in a dishwasher or a microwave. So it's not fancy China noritake like this, but it is simple, plain ones. We did takeout through COVID, and it would come to our house, and I always take the food out of the styrofoam containers and put it on my plates. It's just something I do. Even when we eat McDonald's, I take it out of the wrapper and I put it on a plate and I eat off a plate. Hey, McDonald's tastes better off a nice plate, guys. Try it one day. But that's just me. I like to eat and I like to drink off in nice cups and a nice plate. But I'm very different from my generation. So unfortunately, these types of china usually get put into a donation place, or it goes to, if you want to sell it, there's a place called replacements.com. However, on replacements.com, people are looking to buy pieces of china, not the whole set. Another segue, my father started a cactus company because he retired, and my mom said, you need to do something in retirement. So he loves cactus, and he's been growing cactus for 30 years. So my sister and I were like, well, Dad, let's start a cactus company. We'll help you. You have to do all the labor, but we'll help you sell it. My clients, if they don't want some of the dishes and they are willing to donate it, we do ask them, are you willing to donate it? Because my dad sells it for super cheap. It's not even the cost of a cup. But our clients are nice enough to donate it to my father's company to sell it. And again, we don't actually sell the cactus for the cup. We sell the cactus with the cactus, but it's a nice decorative piece. So if you're around Pearl Ridge next week, Saturday, we'll be at the farmer's market. But that's where a lot of the stuff is from. All right, do we have VHS tapes? Do we have DVDs? VHS tapes, you should digitize them and put it on a DVD or put it on your computer, because the VHS tapes are going to be non-existent. You may have that one that is, in the vault. I'll tell you a secret. These items, these new older videos have actually come out of the vault and put on DVD. Like Sleeping Beauty was out a year or two ago, Cinderella. So you'll still be able to get them. The other question is if you still have a working VHS player, right? That's a big thing too, because they're not selling VHS players anymore. I see so we're talking about plates. Corel is a good option. They actually have really nice Corel plates now, like designer Corel plates. And if you also have seen in outdoor weddings, they have plastic plates, not paper plates, but they're even fancy plastic disposable plates. It's crazy, right? Sorry, I looked at a comment about the plates, so I thought I'd bring that up. But VHS tapes are non-existent, so let's donate. Let's throw them away, because you cannot donate those. The library would be very upset with you if you donated VHS tapes. DVD, yes, you may donate DVD and VHS. And the CDs, the music ones, to the library or even to like Goodwill or Kidney. What I did last year, we had a whole DVD stand, and quite honestly, nobody ever watches those DVDs. The only time we pull it out is when we go on a trip and we take the portable DVD player. But now all the airplanes have like that fancy TV, so we don't even bring that anymore. So I told my husband, what are we doing keeping all of these? It's just taking up space. So what we did was we actually got rid of all of our DVDs. My husband has Hulu, he has Disney, he has Netflix, so we don't really need to keep any of those DVDs. I did keep my Friends, my Sex and the City, and my Big Bang series, but the rest we ended up donating because we don't need them anymore, and we don't, we can use the space better. How do you digitize tapes? So there are places, Costco does a lot of digitizing. When I talk about VHS tapes, you can do that, and even up to, the 8mm, the one that goes. Well, my grandfather had a bunch of them, and it said my name on one of them. So I took it to Costco, they digitized it, and even though on that whole thing I only found like 3 minutes of footage, that's 3 minutes of footage I would have never seen about myself. And it was actually me on the tennis court walking around picking up tennis balls at like the age of 1.5 or something. So it was pretty cool. But you can digitize a lot of film, even your slides, you can take that to Costco and digitize. So there are places on the island to go ahead and do those things. Donation places, you might want to call them to make sure they're open and see if they're doing some pickups, but these are all different donation places on the island. Currently, a lot of them I think are being very selective. Big furniture, I don't know if they're taking anymore. If you have big furniture that's in great condition and you want to donate them, please contact me. We have an organization, a church out in Makaha that we've been donating things to. I don't advertise it because they only do pickups, I think 3 o'clock, and they have to schedule it between her or her husband to do the pickup. So if you are interested and you have furniture you want to donate, please contact me. I can give you that information directly. So now things you want to keep and retain, you should be zen, you should be, oh, and you know, feel good about the items you're keeping because you're getting rid of a lot of the stuff you haven't used or that are replaceable. The tosspileopala.org is a great website for things that you need to toss, recycling guidelines, hazardous material. If you want to schedule a bulky pickup, because now you cannot do bulky pickup like we used to, you can schedule your bulky pickup on opala.org. Or you can call a Hau'oli company, like I said, and take all your trash. Again, we do trash removal as well, but that's not our specialty. We can do it for clients, but there are a lot of other companies out there as well. This is before the toss. This was a client that we helped move to a retirement community, and she ended up having a lot of stuff we had to toss. And if you notice, look in the picture, do you think that's all of her stuff? She was 80 something years old. She did not do the weight system. I actually joked around. I was like, oh, how much can you bench press? And she's like, oh, that's my son's. You know, he said he left it here and he was gonna work out. And you know, he never took it. He moved to the Big Island. So now mom has to get rid of it, right? We all do that. We leave stuff in mom's house, and then later on it's like, oh, mom, just throw it away, right? Well, this is a 3-car garage of stuff that we disposed. It was a 40-foot dumpster. We use things like garages and carports to put the trash in there, and then we have the dumpster come for one day. We load up the dumpster, and then we have the dumpster hauled away. Right, bulky pickup. This was in the past. The left picture, the client had a lot of stuff in their home that they didn't take with them that unfortunately was termite eaten, things like that. What's really good about bulky pickup is use bulky pickup for things like appliances, because they're a lot harder to dispose of at a convenience center. The right side photo was actually about 8 years ago. We broke down a tree house that the dad had built in the backyard and was all coming apart. So they had us take it down and we put it on the street. And right there, a client on the left probably saved about $600 of disposal fees. How much was the dumpster pickup? So a dumpster, the prices just went up. So you know those 40-foot containers, not the ones you see at condos or you see at stores. Those are smaller. The 40-foot container, if you fill it up all the way, could cost you about $1,000. So if there's enough trash, you actually will save money. As $1,000 dumpster, if you had a Hau'oli company come, that could possibly be like $2,500 of pickup, because the dumpster companies do it by size and their trucks are like a third to a half of what a dumpster can hold. And of course, they can't fill their truck all the way up to the top either, right? In a dumpster, we fill it all the way to the top. And it's about up to $1,000 for one dumpster. So before and after picture. So like a garage like this with this little stuff, this is probably one truckload. So that's not very, it's, you know, $100 or $200 to dispose of. But again, if you have enough stuff, it's more cost efficient to get a dumpster on the property. And you'd be surprised how much stuff you have in your home, right? Again, you want to be zen, throw things away versus keeping them, especially if you're not using them. So again, we do this decluttering ourselves. We help our clients. We want to protect valuables, like I said, photos, albums, videos. You also want to make sure you know where your life insurance, your trust policies, and all those things are. We're going to get to this Christmas part, and I don't know how much time I have, so I apologize. I want to introduce you to my family. My daughter is 9 years old now. Then my grandma and grandpa on my mother's side, my grandmother just turned 90 years old in September, and my grandfather is 92 years old. They love Vegas so much. And although we told them not to go, they're in Vegas currently. So please pray for them that they come back safe and healthy. But this is their second time that they've gone to Vegas. They just love it so much. But that's my grandparents on my mother's side. And the other picture is my my immediate family. I'm the oldest of three. My brother Chris just got married to his wife in February, right before coronavirus hit. And my sister and her husband Travis got married about 2 years ago, and they're expecting their first child. We're gonna have a new baby boy. And my daughter is 9 years old. I talk about my family a lot because we do very traditional Christmas. My husband's from the mainland. You notice my husband. He's from the mainland. He's from Virginia. He's comes from a separated family, so they don't have as many traditions as we do. But in my family, we've gone to my grandparents' home every year since I can remember. We do Christmas Eve after Christmas Eve church. We go to their home. We open all their gifts, and we're usually doing this till like midnight. We have a midnight feast, and then we sing happy birthday to Jesus, and then we all go home and we sleep, and then of course we wake up really early because Santa comes, and we open our gifts at our own homes on Christmas Day. I tell a funny story. My sister's 11 years younger than me, and we believed in Santa till I think I was in college, because if she still believed, I still got a gift from Santa. So when she was like 8, we're like, yeah, Santa's real, because I was like 19, right? So I got Christmas gifts from Santa until my sister stopped believing in Santa. So I always thought, yeah, Santa's real, right? But so simplifying before the holidays. Now we're all starting to decorate. I have seen Christmas decorations up from Halloween time. So these are some tips to go through before the holidays. And I'm currently starting to think about what decorations I want to put up in my home, where I'm going to put it up, and what space I have. We've decorated my grandmother's house, like I said, as long as I can remember, inside and outside. We go the weekend after Thanksgiving. The boys do the outside with the lights and the stuff on the lawn and on the roof, and the women are in the inside doing the village and all the stockings and all the decorations inside the house. So this is a time for you to start thinking about going through all your Christmas and holiday decor, right? Number 2, you want to declutter the gift wrapping supplies, right? Because even though we have supplies from last year, we somehow tend to buy more wrapping paper this year, right? Costco already has it on sale. And before I bought it, I had to think about what I had. So I said, okay, I'll buy it the next time I'm here, because I got to check what I have already, right? Simplifying your kitchen. You're going to start entertaining. You want to make sure your kitchen is ready for entertaining. Declutter the toys, right? I have a 9-year-old child. What do we do? How do we declutter all that stuff? And decluttering your clothes. Because even though we think we can fit into some of the clothes, it might not fit us anymore for how many years, right? We want to do what I call a whole house decluttering sweep, decluttering in a swoop, mainly, and I'll show you examples later, but mainly decluttering your entire home in one swoop, right? And then not only decluttering physical stuff, but decluttering your mindset and your obligations. Because Christmas time, we do have a lot of obligations and a lot of things that we tell ourselves we have to do so that the Christmas time will be, good for us. So Christmas and holiday decor, you want to get rid of things you don't love, you don't put up, you haven't used, or you don't use anymore, right? So it's a good time to start looking at that now, because I'm going to tell you, if you give away or donate stuff after the holidays, there's a likelier chance that you can donate them. Donation locations will take all of your holiday or seasonal stuff prior to that season. So even Easter, right? You don't want to donate your stuff after Easter, because the donation places will not hold it for a year. What you want to do is you want to donate it now. So if you have Christmas stuff now, look at all your Christmas stuff. When you start putting them up, then go ahead and donate it to the nonprofit organizations, because they will take it prior to the holidays, because they can sell it that holiday. They're not going to take your items after the holidays, because they'll have to store it somewhere for a year. Okay, so that's a good time now to start looking at all the bins you have, all the things that you have, where are you going to put it, and then start putting it out. Whatever you don't put out this year and you haven't put out in years to come, in years past, go ahead and box those up and take it down to the nearest donation site. Okay? Think about the time and the effort it takes to put something out, right? Does it take you an hour to put out the village versus 10 minutes to put something else out, right? Is it worth your time and effort? Do you enjoy this? do you do it because you think other people enjoy it, right? Think about the time and the effort you're taking to use this item or to put up this item, especially like lights in a big ball, and it's going to take you an hour just to make it all straight. I did talk about like too much Christmas stuff, right? Like in one of the pictures, that's quite a bit of holiday decoration, right? You want to be maybe more simplistic. Um, Maybe things are broken and you put duct tape on it to hold it together, and you think, oh, no one's going to see it because it's in the back. Maybe discard some of the broken items or the duplicate items, right? And then sort your stuff through a category and style. Like, okay, this year we're going to do Winter Wonderland. So it's going to be blue and white. So that's going to be in one bin. I don't want to mix up the Winter Wonderland theme with the, green and red theme, right? Or if you have Snoopy theme and another, Transformers theme, right? You want to sort by category. Again, think about duplicate or broken items, and then what you're not using and what you haven't used in a while. Again, donate before and not after the holidays. If you also notice all the bins over here on that picture, what I like to add to those bins is a label of what is in that and what items you put in there. That way you don't have to look through all of the bins in order to get to the one bin. Declutter gift wrapping supplies. Wherever you have your gift wrapping supplies, you want to make sure it doesn't get overloaded with more, right? Sort through your gift wrapping. Maybe you have a few pieces. Maybe ribbon is, just this much more left. Bows, bags that the handle is broken. You want to sort through all that and make sure you're keeping what you are going to use, right? Also, maybe if you want to, we tell ourselves the old Christmas cards, we're going to cut off the front and use that as a tag. Okay, then let's do that now and put the tags in one area. And then if you're going to keep 100 tags, but you only give out 10 gifts a year, do we really need 100 tags, right? So when I go shopping, I have a gift wrapping area because it's only for that. It's wrapping paper, tape, bows, and I make homemade tags. I also buy gifts from my grandparents. Again, I'm the oldest of 14 grandkids, and because my grandparents are older, they still want to give gifts, but they don't have the time and energy to go out shopping. So I not only buy the gifts from our family, I also buy the gifts from my grandparents. So that's another at least 20 gifts that I purchase for them. I wrap, and then we take it to their home for everyone to open. So I do have a little area. I have a table, and that's what I put on that table. And anytime I need to wrap something, I wrap it and it stays right there. After Christmas is over, I do get rid of that area and I put my gift wrapping stuff away. But purchase only what you're going to need for the year, right? If you are going to wrap gifts, just buy wrapping paper for how many gifts you're going to purchase. Because we've been in a lot of homes where we go and there's like 20 half rolls of wrapping paper that hasn't been touched in 5 to 10 years, right? So I buy one roll from gifts from that my grandparents give out so I can distinguish what's from my grandparents, and I buy 2 rolls for gifts that we give out to our friends and family. So think about how much you really need and how much you're going to purchase, right? Simplifying the kitchen. When you have friends over for the holidays, you want it to look nicer, right? You want it to be ready for hosting, or maybe ready to bake cookies or bake pies. My auntie Lisa's on this, so I want to tell her, Kat has perfected the banana cream pie that Auntie Ethel used to make, and it's really yummy. My Auntie Ethel is an amazing baker. She would bake cookies and pies and stuff, and my dad's been trying to get my sister to perfect the banana cream pie, and through a lot of trial and error, I think we found the actual recipe. So it's super yummy. But we want to be ready to just be able to make cookies when we can. So we want to clear off that counter, so that we don't have to do it every single time we have company come over. We want to clean out the pantry, the refrigerator, and the freezer. Start fresh for the holiday season. If we need to buy sugar and flour and cornstarch and all that stuff, we want to make sure that is readily available so we can do our baking and our cooking this Christmas season, right? Make a list of stuff you need and then only buy what you need for that season. Hey, is that a wide open, clean, clutter-free space? Let's totally ruin it. Do you have kids or grandkids? They do this. My daughter likes to be organized, but I told her you need to be organized every day, not just like today I'm going to organize this area. You have to be organized all the time because seriously, kids can clutter an area really quickly, like this, right? My daughter's birthday is in May, so every April and every November we declutter all of her stuff. One, because she will get more things. I kid you not, she is the only grandchild. She's the only child of ours, and she gets a lot of toys and a lot of gifts and a lot of clothes. We need to get rid of the toys that she hasn't used and she hasn't played with. As she's growing, her interest changes very often, right? Because they're kids, and I have a lot of nieces and nephews. So if she's not interested in it, I ask one of them if they want it. I've even shipped stuff to my cousins in the mainland because I know that they like it. But we declutter all of her toys, all of her clothes before her birthday and before Christmas because I know she's going to have that much more to clutter up. The other thing I tell her is if you don't declutter it and you get all these toys and there's no space for it to fit, we cannot keep it. So she knows that she needs to get rid of it. Or we make use of it right now, or what we've done was we've donated it to like Toys for Tots or different places, especially if she didn't open it up for a whole year, right? Organize the space for the new toys, right? Out with the old, in with the new. And she knows that, this is what's going to happen. And it's also good because kids don't play with stuff all the time. So we want to kind of gear their interest into what they're interested in now and not just keeping stuff because we, have sentimental values for it as well. But you also want to get it organized. You don't want it all on the floor like this. Legos was a big thing for her last Christmas, and she had Legos everywhere. And I was like, no, this is not going to happen. She started putting it in a bin, and then to find one color of a specific thing, she had to hunt for it. So we organized it in drawer cabinets, and now every drawer is a different color. She can get to what she needs very quickly. Decluttering the clothes. Oh my gosh, we all have so much clothes. We want to clean out our old wardrobe. Maybe if you have seasonal items, we don't live in the mainland, but if you have seasonal items like winter coats or summer clothes, you might want to declutter those. What you haven't worn this past season, maybe you haven't fit in it, maybe it's too big, you lost some weight, that's awesome. Donate those items, right? But we want to get in some of the smaller clothes and we still keep it year after year, and we haven't unfortunately gotten to the smaller clothes. Unfortunately, we need to be realistic in what we're going to wear and how much space we have, right? This closet that you're looking at is not a good closet, right? You have stuffed in clothes, you have shoes all over the floor. We want to create an organized space so you can make use of the space better. And I'm almost guaranteed most of us don't wear more than half of the clothes in our closet, right? We wear the same tops, we wear the same bottoms because it's comfortable and that's what we like. This is what a closet can look like if you use different, cubby holes, different types of organization. Simply Organized has a great system. It's a do-it-yourself type of system. There's also closet organizers. You can actually put a lot of clothes in a closet, but when it's organized, it fits much better. And of course, it looks much better, right? Instead of all the clothes piling up. Maybe I could get rid of a few things, right? Are you trying to close that closet and it's so stuffed, but you're like, nope, I'm going to get it closed and finally closed. And it's like, okay, don't touch that closet, right? Whole house decluttering sweep. I do this quite often when I'm in a cleaning. My husband says, oh, she's going to do a cleaning rampage again. I literally go through every area. I have a trash bag and I start from the kitchen and I open the cabinets. I'm like, okay, I didn't use this in a while. Oh, I don't need that. Oh, that's old or that's dirty. I go into the living room area. I go into my office area. I go into my daughter's craft area. We go in our bedrooms. Sometimes my husband and my daughter's stuff gets stuck in there. Sometimes they don't. That's why they usually follow me when I do this because they know I will just put it in the bag and it's going to go out the door. So that's what a whole house decluttering is. Just grab a box and start going in areas and something quickly that takes your eye. Oh yeah, I don't need that. I don't need that. It's not opening and taking everything out. It's quick decisions. It's stuff that I saw, oh yeah, I don't need that. It's going to be a very sweep, like right when you sweep, it's quick decisions, it's a quick motion. I created a share box in my home from when my daughter was little. If it doesn't fit, oh, the shirt's too small, mommy, okay, put it in the share box. Oh, I don't use this anymore, okay, put it in the share box. And when that share box gets full, I bag it up and I take it to the donation site. And that's a good way for us to start noticing, like, if a shirt's not fitting anymore, instead of putting it back on the hanger and putting it in the closet, I take it off the hanger and I put it in the share box. So we do that as a family. Whatever we're not using, whatever is doesn't fit anymore, goes into that share box, and then we take it away. An idea, if you want to start decluttering, is setting up monthly donation pickups, right? Okay, the third Saturday, I've scheduled it for the whole year. I have to have something out there. Whether you have one box or whether you have 10 boxes, it's great to keep this so that you keep on the top of your mind that a donation place is coming. Let's get rid of stuff that I'm not using. Okay, so that's what a whole house sweep is. Last but not least, you want to declutter your mindset and obligations, right? You want to be able to enjoy the holidays. I thought this comic, but I can't enjoy the holidays because I have obligation, right? Are they obligations we have and we think for others, right? Do what makes sense. Do what makes you happy, right? You want to do things that will bring you joy versus things that, oh yeah, I have to do this because everyone else is doing it. Well, you don't need to have to do it because everybody else is doing it, right? You want to declutter your mindset and your obligations. Say yes to time together, quality time, and no to other things. Manage your stress. Let go of what doesn't work. You want to make sure you don't neglect yourself, right? Self-care. And you want to watch unrealistic expectations. And we all have them. Christmas time comes up. We have to buy gifts for 1,000 people. Why? We have to do this, or we have to do that, or we have to decorate our home because the others do it, right? Think about what makes you happy and stick to those items, because if not, it could be very stressful during the holidays. Have a clutter-free Christmas, right? That's what we all want, is a clutter-free Christmas. All right, so I'm just going to finish with who we are. We're a family-run company. We're a one-stop shop support team. We'll help you to get to your solutions. We talk about your goals, and if we're not the company that needs to help you, we'll help you to get a company that can help you. This is part of our team. This was last Christmas, I believe. We unfortunately won't be able to do this, but every year since we started, my sister bakes cookies for us, and we would take it to all the retirement communities and say happy Merry Christmas to all of our clients. In the past, we've had to give out like 800 or 500 pieces of stuff, but we go to all the retirement communities and we say Merry Christmas to our clients. Unfortunately, this year we're not able to, so I'm going to be really sad to not be able to see everyone during the holidays. As the years have gone by, I always bring my daughter, and the clients that we moved 10 years ago, they remember, oh, I remember when she was in your tummy and when she was a baby. And then now they're like, oh my God, how old is she? She's so tall. So it's really nice to, remind them who we are, but also be able to see how they've grown, and talk story with them for a couple minutes, and so that they know that we, still remember them and that we still cherish them. So compassion is really big for us. Compassion is being tender with the young, kind and gentle with the aged, sympathetic with those who are striving, tolerant with the weak, caring for those in need, and forgiving with the wrong. Because sometime in your life, you've been all of these. And, compassion is really big for us. We go into the most personal spaces. We deal with the most emotions, right? Getting rid of stuff. So compassion is really important for us and our team. And that is how we treat all of our clients, with compassion. Last but not least, I'm going to be doing this webinar on Wednesday at 1:00. We are going to, it's going to be similar to this. We're going to talk about decluttering, do small tidbits about moving, about the aging in place, about hoarding, as well as about the holidays. So if you're interested, please contact me, phone or email, and we can put you on our list for that. I will open it up to questions and I will read the chat. I don't need to declutter. Do you just take out furniture? Yes, we can do that. You can give me a call and we can do an assessment. If it's something that the church might need or might want, we can contact them and have them come and do a pickup for free. If it's something that can't be donated, yes, we can help with trash removal as well. We are doing consultations in person, so if you'd like us to come to your home, we can. We do temperature checks and all that for our staff. We always wear face masks. If it's easier, you can take pictures and send it to us as well via email, and we can help do an estimate through a picture. Let's see, any other questions? Do you engage your services while working? Yes, we do. Like I said, our clientele is in the most vulnerable state, so we make sure our staff members are temperature checked. I also know, because we're very close knit, if they've gone out of the state. If they do, our protocol is, even though they are cleared by the state for quarantine, they are still quarantined for 14 days for us. They are just, limited contact and stay at home before, and they have to do a COVID test before they come back on the job. The other thing that we do is, even if their family members are, have traveled, we want to make sure that, and they live in the same household. I've had a client that, I had a staff member, I'm sorry, that the wife's parents had a COVID test and a COVID scare. He was off of work for a week because I needed to make sure that she was cleared, the wife was cleared, and he was cleared. And just for protocol, we want to make sure our employees are cleared so that we don't give anything to our clients. There was another question. Any other questions you can put in the chat, or I don't know if you can unmute yourself and ask.
Yeah, Cynthia, I have a question.
Yes.
Back in the day, I mean, it was so important for new brides and, well, the whole family to have a set of china, and I just don't understand why the millennials aren't interested in china anymore. Do you have an idea?
I don't have an idea. So nowadays, what I've been seeing is they're very minimalist. So China was great when, of course, you entertained, right? You had your nice china, you had your nice silverware, you entertained, and people came, they ate off nice dishes. Nowadays, every single party that you go to is paper plates. Even yeah. I have even some of my friends say, oh yeah, we eat off paper plates at home too. I'm like, why? Oh, I don't want to wash. I don't want to wash dishes, just throw it away and throw it in the dumpster or whatever. So it's very changed as far as just, I think, the mindset and like the minimalist type of thing. Like my cousins are just out of high school. They don't even know what china is. They're like, oh, the expensive stuff grandma has in the cabinets, right? They don't have the appreciation for it. And unfortunately, I see this every day that our clients are in their 80s, their kids are in their 60s maybe, and they have their own set of china. And I talk to the grandkids who are in their 30s, and they're like, I don't want china. Who wants that stuff? It doesn't go in the microwave. It kind of go in the dishwasher. And so that's unfortunately the way it is. And I hope that another generation, maybe my daughter's generation, will learn to appreciate some stuff. But even like Japanese dolls, we have to get rid of so many because kids and grandkids don't want them. And the other thing I've noticed too is we have smaller homes. Like a lot of my friends, they can't buy a single family home at $1 million right off the bat, right? They have to buy the $300,000 to $400,000 apartment. The apartments are getting smaller. Millennials are buying smaller things. They're not needing, a set of 14 dishes. They'll get a set of 5 dishes or 4 dishes. But I've learned that just been talking to friends and the grandkids of our clients. They just don't appreciate it. And it's unfortunate because we don't know what to do with our client stuff who've kept it for 100 years or 150 years because their family doesn't want it. So another tip for that, if you have a big family, ask the extended family. ask your cousins, ask, because what I've learned is that you may have not enjoyed something of your grandmother's, but your cousin or your mom's cousin might have enjoyed it when she visited auntie's home. You know, oh, every time I visited auntie's home, I thought this Japanese doll she made was just so beautiful, right? You don't know what your cousins or your extended family members want. So it's good to also ask your extended family of those type of things.
Okay. There's a question says, can we schedule decluttering in sections throughout the home, outside first, then inside?
Yes, we can do that. We have done projects where a client wants certain areas at a time. Yes, we can do that. It doesn't, you know, you don't have to do the whole house at the same time. But yes, we can do small projects here and there.
All right.
Yes, real silverware is hard. Keeping silver clean. And that's another thing. The younger generation, they're not going to take the time to polish silverware, or, you know, even to be decorative. If you go into anyone younger in their homes, it looks like a show house because they don't have trinkets and they don't have, you know, things that bring you happiness, right? They have, everything is on their phone. I kid you not, everything is on their phone. That's like what everyone's attached to, is their phone. And again, I'm very different from my friends, but I like to see pretty things. I like to feel at home when I'm at home. So yes, yeah, paper plates, it's full of it. Paper plates, paper cups. And like I was saying, they even have these pretty plastic plates that look like china because they're like gold on the rim. And I was like, what is this? So yeah. What are our fees? Okay, that's a good question. So we do have fees. We're a for-profit company. We do a first consultation for free to assess what's going on in the home, see what your goals are, see what you need to get done. If you're moving, if you're aging in place, if you just want to do a small area, we do a free consultation so that we can give you an estimate for your project. On average, our average client moves or declutters a 3 to 4 bedroom home that's semi full of stuff. That process of decluttering, donation, selling, disposal, boxing, to move or organizing your home runs anywhere from $3,500 to $6,000. Of course, the bigger your home, the more expensive you have. We've moved studios for under $1,000. We've moved 1 bedrooms for under $1,000. All we did was, you know, pack up stuff and move it on one day. So it does vary from job to job. We have, you know, as minimal as $300 jobs all the way. I think our biggest job was like $20,000. It was a home. If you come to one of our hoarding webinars, you'll watch that video. The stuff was from ceiling to floor and wall to wall in a home. It took us months to do that job, but it was pretty full. Does your company offer financing? So no, we don't. We do deposit and a final payment. For those that we do have a nonprofit organization which is called Silver Spoons, and that Silver Spoons is funds projects that we do for clients that don't have the funds for it. So Silver Spoons Hawaii is a family company of ours that we basically, all of the family of companies donate money or give money through our profits through this non-profit organization. We also get donations from outside people. We were able to do a few jobs this year through that funds, or for those who don't have funding. Oh, the gold bars. It wasn't donated. Not any of the money. So in that situation, specifically for the gold bars, the clients siblings were in the mainland. They came, they met us, they did their own sorting. They took the stuff they wanted, that they wanted to keep. And then it was our turn to do our own sorting, to donate or to dispose or to sell. And because they're in the mainland, I didn't want to mail it to them. It was $20,000. I didn't want to keep it in my home. So what I actually did was I opened a safety deposit box. I put it in the safety deposit box, and I paid for it, and then they reimbursed. But it was in that safety deposit box for 4 years until they were able to come and visit.
Wow.
When they came to visit, I met them at the bank. They took it out and then they kept it on them when they went back to the mainland. So yeah, they paid for 4 years of safety deposit. But I was not going to hold it in my house. I did not want to be liable for anything like that. If it's in person and they're on island, like the $16,000, we called their estate and their trust. We also called the family and we had somebody pick it up. I think the estate picked it up and they were the one that actually counted it. We didn't count $1 of that. So the picture was actually from the estate. They counted it and they picked it up that day. We do not want to be liable for money like that. Let's see, could you make a brief comment about holding on to legal documents? Okay, so legal documents and things like that, you want to ask your accountant and your lawyers first what you need to keep, what you can get scanned, because I can tell you they usually say about 7 years, but you want to ask them to be sure. And then those items that are past that deadline, you can get shredded. There's a lot of places you can get those items shredded. We also can help you find someone to scan things if you want to scan them. But legal documents, you want to make sure not only you know where it is, but whoever your beneficiaries are. It's great to have a safe deposit box and put those things in there. Or personally, I have it at our at the bank's safety deposit box, and I have a key, and I think we gave a key to my mother. But yes, so somebody needs to know where you can find those legal documents, because it's ironic. A lot of our clients that they have kids in the finance industry or the banking industry or the legal industry, those are the clients that they have no idea where mom and dad put their stuff. They assume mom and dad put it in the file cabinet, but when we go and look for it, it's not there. So you don't want to assume mom and dad has put it in a certain space. You want to make sure you know exactly where they put those items. I recommend getting things shredded at a shredding location. The other way is taking it straight to the landfill. Nobody goes into the gulch, but that's not as safe. But I would say shred your items. I wouldn't suggest buying a shredder and shredding 4 boxes of stuff at a time. The shredders that you purchase are for everyday use. Like you get the mail, oh, I don't need this, oh, I'm going to shred it. It's not for you sitting there for hours because it will overheat. I had a client that I think went through like 2 or 3 shredders before she's like, what do you do with shredding? I was like, oh, just box it. I'll take it. It'll be, we'll take it to the shredding company. And she's like, what? I went through 3 shredders. But yeah, the shredders are not good for like an hour of you sitting there shredding stuff because it can overheat. How do you convince an aging parent that needs to declutter? Ooh, that's a good one. It's hard to convince somebody who doesn't want to get it done. A good way, and because we've been doing these webinars, it's easier to get people to a webinar than it is to get an actual person in person, right? So I usually say introduce them by coming to a webinar, having them sit in with you. It's going to be difficult if the person doesn't want or doesn't think they need the help. So what we usually do is we talk about, if it was my grandmother, I talk to her, oh, grandma, can I clear this area? Because I'm having a hard time getting through the hallway and I almost fell, right? You're not going to want to talk to them about, grandma, we got to get rid of this stuff because you're going to fall, right? How does it sounds very different, right? Coming from something that's concerning me about me versus me telling you you're going to do this, or you might fall and hurt yourself, so you need to do this. So the way we talk about it is in, like, we've had clients that their parents had so much stuff they did not want their children to come over. They weren't going to threaten them saying, mom, my kids aren't going to come over until you clean up your mess. Instead it was, we're so worried that the kids are going to mess up all of your stuff. They're going to trip over it. They're going to fall. This pile's going to fall when they run around the house. Can we clean up some areas so that they can be kids at your home, right? You never want to tell somebody that they have the problem, that you need to do this because you you know, you have too much stuff. You want to revert it as, you know, I'm a little worried. I can't get through this area. I almost tripped and fell yesterday. Can I clear this up and maybe put it somewhere else? So it will be difficult to convince someone, but you can encourage them. And there's small ways of encouragement. If you have a specific situation, I'd be more than happy to set up a conference call with you and talk with you about it and give you some suggestions on how to talk to mom and dad, because there are certain ways you should talk to them and certain ways you shouldn't talk to somebody like that. And then it also depends if they have dementia, Alzheimer's issues, or other physical issues as well.
Well, you've gotten a lot of thank yous for the talking points, Cynthia. I've heard this before, and every time I hear it from you, I come away with all the things I need to do that I haven't ever gotten to. I guess I'm a borderline hoarder, even though I don't have things sitting around everywhere. It's all boxed up and all. And talking about Christmas decorations, I have a collection of nutcrackers in all sizes. I've got 65. And I put them out every year, and it takes me hours, and then it takes me hours to put them up every year. But those are my babies, so I will continue doing that. But I really, I always get something from your presentation, and thank you so much.
Not a problem. Yeah, there are certain things that I enjoy as well, and nobody else does, but I do, so I put it up for myself. And it's great. It's good to do that because it brings you joy too. Like I said, my grandparents are older, and even though we can't go to their house for Christmas this year, we're still going to decorate the house so that it brings my grandma joy when she walks around her home. So, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Somebody, Lisa said she's motivated to start decluttering her own home. So, good job.
Yep. That's
Okay.
a plus.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it to a close now. I will remind you about the monthly caregiver support group. If you're interested, email me and I'll put you on the email list for the program. The next one's December 7th, I think is the first Monday in December. That's what they're first Mondays of every month. And they're really, really good sessions. So Cynthia, thank you so much. This is a great time to talk about this because I need it. And thank you everybody for being here. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Take care.
Have a good holidays, everybody.
Bye. Aloha.
Hey, who's Saito?
Yeah.
I see a lot of familiar names. Thanks, Kathy.
Thank you. I appreciate you being here.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.